at sports. All right, so this is going to be our weekly live stream hangout kind of thing. I got Eric. How you doing tonight, man? What's going on?
Oh boy, it's a good day. It's a good day. How are you doing?
Doing good, man. Got off work earlier, kind of just chilling now, and we decided we'd come on here and just have a little live stream. Just talk about various sports topics that just happen to come up in the conversation, and yeah, I got this sim a game, which actually let me resume it right now. The Islanders and the Golden Knights from Barclays Center. That's pretty sad. I wish I could have played it from the freaking Coliseum.
Go Knights, go!
Oh, actually, it's in broadcast mode, so actually it's pretty cool. But oh my God, dude, the Islanders scored the first 12 seconds. All right, I see how it is. But yeah. So what you been up to lately, Eric? Anything on your about sports you want to bring up at the moment, or?
Well, I mean, the first thing I have to mention, of course, as you guys are probably expecting, is today I did upload the history of our second video in the history of a series. Today it was our first NHL one as we
Yes,
discussed the
yes,
history of
yes, yes,
the
yes.
Boston Bruins. So that was exciting. That took some time. I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you haven't seen it already, definitely recommend at least giving it a chance as we discuss the history of the Bruins. But yeah, other than that, I haven't done too much today. I tried recording another video, but it didn't work out for me. So that's gonna be the next day, tomorrow.
All right, that's cool. Yeah, yeah. As the everybody knows, Eric is uploading numerous history videos of sports teams, so that will be interesting to see. Obviously, I just uploaded the Western matchup playing rounds today. So you got, Chicago, Edmonton, Canucks, Wild, Battle of Atlanta between the Flames and Jets, and then of course the Predators and Coyotes. So that'll be interesting how these play out. Obviously, I mentioned in the video a lot of these series like definitely will seem lopsided. But I still got that whole thing in my head that the West is kind of trash. So
I mean, the West can't be that trashy if the West did beat the Bruins in the Stanley Cup last year.
I mean, all right, there, fooling this out, huh? When was the last time the the Flyers made the Stanley Cup final?
2010, after they pulled a 3-0 comeback against the Boston Bruins.
All right, sir.
First in NHL history. Which, in case you guys are wondering, is indeed mentioned in our history of the Boston Bruins video
That's
because
exactly why I'm not
it
watching that video.
actually it actually does matter because it's the first time it happened in the NHL, so it's not like I'm doing something stupid that doesn't matter. It's something that actually was like historically relevant in the NHL. You do get little random tidbits like that. Now, yesterday, June 4th, was actually the oh man, I think it was the I forget the exact year it was, but it was the anniversary. I think it was the 46th anniversary of when the Cleveland Indians hosted their infamous Disco Demolition Night. Or sorry, they weren't Disco Demolition. They were the oh man, I can't remember the exact thing it is. Oh, 25-cent beer, 25-cent beer night. So when we do get to do the history of the Cleveland Indians, that will be one of those little stories that's going to be mentioned. What's interesting is yesterday was actually the day I started doing research on the Cleveland Indians, and it ever so happened to be the anniversary of that and the anniversary of when they got their franchise-saving second baseman, Nap LaJoy. He made his debut that day over 100 years ago. So, June 4th is a very eventful day in Cleveland Indians history, and these are the things that you get to see when you listen to the history of videos. Of course, some teams are going to be different than others. Some teams are going to be longer videos than others. But I'm going to stop talking about the history of just because I don't want this whole video to be the history of
Right.
examples. But, we're excited about this channel. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. We're getting slowly starting to get any views, which is fine. But obviously, the more content we put out there, the better chance this thing has growing. So far in this game, by the way, I don't know if you're watching, but it's tied 1-1 Islanders and Golden Knights.
In real life,
I
it wouldn't be this close, man.
know, dude. In Vegas, probably be dominating. Well, it's only 4 minutes into the game. I put it 15-minute
Still,
periods. Um,
damn, son.
I mean, I kind of want it to be more realistic. I mean, it's this true broadcast look. It looks pretty cool, but obviously things just seem a little fast because it's video games, you know? The way they turn
Right.
around and shoot stuff, the way they pass it all the way up to a breakaway, like within seconds.
Consistently.
Oh, but there's no surprise there. Fleury going out to get the puck, which he sucks at. But it's funny. Speaking of those, I know you just talked about those history videos you did. One of those videos I did today. I know we were talking about this the other day with the Blackhawks and with this series, this playing series between the Blackhawks and and the Oilers. Obviously, we were both talking about it's going to be really lopsided. The Oilers have a chance of completely blowing them out. But obviously,
Right.
the real surprising thing was the fact that the Blackhawks got rid of Lehner, a few months ago, not expecting to be at all in the situation that they're in.
Well, nobody expected what happened to happen. I mean, it's just something that came out of the blue, and nobody expected this to get as crazy as it did because obviously, they were out of the playoffs, they were on the outside looking in, and they're thinking, okay, we need to get future assets. We're getting old, we're going to be rebuilding shortly. I mean, they kind of are already. They still have Kane, they still have, well, what's his name? Toes, right? Jonathan Two-Eels? Two-Eels, is it?
Yeah, some say it's Tays, but I think it's
Nah, I don't think it's
Toes.
Tage, man. That doesn't sound right. I gotta ask Don Cherry how to say his name. Don Cherry knows how to say everybody's name
Like
perfectly.
you'd be like that toe guy.
Oh, Jonathan Toys.
Oh yeah, you're right. Now I think about it, Jonathan Toys. Hey, at least it's not as bad.
Jonathan
Hey,
Toys.
it's not as bad as Pasta Point.
David Posterpoint out there.
uh, I don't understand, bro. It's
David.
like it's like hockey got too good for him in terms of name pronunciation that he just goes with whatever he sounds like he thinks he heard. Oh my God, there was a bunch of others that we had seen in that video and oh my God, that's some
Oh
funny stuff.
man. Oh man. Don Cherry was mentioned in the Bruins history video. Don't worry, guys. Don Cherry likes his enforcers. He must have took one too many hits to the head.
Oh my God.
I mean, it would make sense, man, because these people don't understand or respect the poppies.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, Don Cherry, man, you got some problems. You got some explaining to do.
Yo, funny story. While we're on the topic of hockey, so I was looking at videos the other day, old videos of, obviously you remember the team, the former Springfield Falcons that used to play in Springfield before they were moved out to Tucson. Did you know? I don't know if you probably didn't know this because I just found this out literally 2 days ago. I was watching an intro video. They introduce all the coaching staff and the team, from I think it was 2012. And guess who the assistant coach was? And I'll give you one name of a team to give you a hint. I don't know if you know his name or not, but the hint is the Colorado Avalanche.
Who their assistant coach was at one point?
The Falcons assistant coach in
Oh
2012.
God, no idea. No idea.
All right, do you know who the
Nope.
head coach of the Avalanche is?
I do not. Nope.
It's a guy by the name of Jared Bednar, and he happened to be the assistant coach for the Springfield Falcons in 2012, if not a few more seasons. It was interesting, because they show the whole intro. This was from a fan's perspective in the crowd, but they were still zooming in on him, and you see him with like no gray hairs like he has now. Obviously, he has a lot of gray hairs now. I mean, this was like this is like 8 years ago, so it's crazy to think, oh my God, this guy was coaching it there, and now you can see where he is now, being the Avalanche coach for a couple seasons now, and yeah, that's just crazy. Um, that was pretty interesting. Little things like that throughout the minors that you notice, whether it's players, coaches, or stuff that make their way up without you realizing where they came from. It's interesting, yeah.
I was just remembering one of the Don Cherry quote, one of the Don Cherry name butchers.
That'd be
So,
funny.
who do you think this is? You're watching Toronto versus Washington. So he's
Okay.
talking about a guy who makes a play.
Okay.
He says Knethen. Who do you think Knethen is?
Knepin?
Knethen. Like
Cause
Knethen.
it's not Kuznetsov, is it?
No, 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 no.
Which team does he play for? Washington or Toronto?
Toronto. He's on Toronto. Knethen. It's that bad, man. It's that bad.
Knethin. Does it? Well, put it this way. Does it even sound like the person's name?
No. No.
Knethin.
It's
It's not.
Kasperi Kapanen.
What? That's so.
I
Oh
don't know
my
where he gets
god.
Knethen from.
That's
I remember seeing that. I'm
ridiculous.
like, I gotta go through the video and find it. I
Knethin.
gotta find
Yo, I've never heard
Knethen.
that. I've never heard that. That's
Like,
crazy.
dude, come on, man. Come on, man. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I don't know how his co-host, I forget the co-host name. I don't know how he kept it together when he would say that stuff. Like, I know sometimes he smiled and smirked, but he never like lost it. Like, I would just lose it. I'd be
Mm.
like,
I would have been like, I'm out, dude. Bye. I quit.
that's pretty funny, actually. What the heck?
Knethen.
I'm curious to see how like he came up with that name. That's
Oh
freaking
man.
ridiculous.
Just so you guys know, right before this stream began, there was an update about the Oakland Athletics. So they had made a comment about how they weren't going to pay their minor league players. An announcement was just made recently that they will be paying the team's minor league players. The owner basically said that, quote, I concluded I've made a mistake, end
Yo,
quote. So that's always good. That's good for MLB players. That's good for the fans.
yo, I got funny. Did you know a nickname for Don Cherry is Grapes?
Grapes? Seriously?
Grapes, Grapes. I just looked up nicknames for Don Cherry. Don and Grapes. What?
That's just so... I don't even know what to say to that.
He got his name from grapes since he did it days in the minors. Well, it was hard to reach consensus on when to get married. Blah, blah, blah. Sour grapes? What the?
Well, he's definitely got a sour attitude.
Oh, that's just funny, bro. This guy's a lunatic, man. Yeah, yeah, it's true.
Yeah, yeah, no, like, oh man,
Pasta point. Give me pasta point. Oh, Ron McLean was the guy that was co-hosting with him on Friday. Wednesday was it Wednesday Night Hockey? I think was it Wednesday
no,
Night
no,
Hockey?
no, man, I didn't have the access to the channel, to the show. No,
Oh my
that be a
God.
good
I didn't
question.
have access to it either, but I'd see it on the highlights on like NHL.com or the app or something.
I didn't have the app back in the day,
I
before
actually
he was fired.
I got it back like a few days ago. Once I heard that Phase 2 was finally going into effect for hockey, where they can finally go back and start training at the facilities,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is like supposedly a early September kind of thing if you're looking at a regular season look. Um,
yeah. So we're like what, a month away? You think?
rough.
Nah, probably
I'm
more.
predicting end of July,
Yeah.
at the least. But hey, man, it's hockey, man. That's all I care about, to be honest. Like, even if you look at the other sports, I know basketball hasn't really put a time frame out there, but they have kind of
No, they have. They kind of said end of
end of
July.
July
And
too.
then,
Okay, I heard something about it. I didn't know if it was true, but
one of my
it's,
coworkers
it's
was
like,
very excited, and he sent me a message about it because I haven't seen him. So he sent me a message talking about it. Oh, for those of you who play fantasy sports, for the record, yes, fantasy hockey season's been over for a week and a half now, and fantasy basketball basically was just ended. Now there's no more fantasy basketball season. It's over. It's done. Hockey, like I said, is over and done. So, congratulations if you had the best record, because for my league, the playoffs basically just began for both of them. So I am now the champion of my hockey league. And Patrick got, what, seventh place out of eight?
hey
How did
man,
you do?
chill out, bro. I'll take it more serious when we have a full season without stopping. But I don't know. I don't know, man. I didn't do very good. I mean, I had this team called the Vietnamese Noodle Soups in my baseball league. And let's be honest, this thing was garbage. I drafted all these random players, and I didn't touch that roster at all. Was that baseball or was that hockey?
That was hockey, man.
That,
That was
oh, that was
hockey.
hockey. Was that the one? Was that the one where we did the fake thing and I drafted all these garbage players like Carl Alsner and like?
Let me see. Let me see if I can pull up some of these players that we drafted, just for the heck of it, because I got my computer on. Just so these guys
Is
can
it possible to
know.
still pull up the roster?
Yeah, you can still pull up the roster.
I gotta pull up my
Let's
roster of the Vietnamese noodle soups.
settings, draft recap. There we go. There we go. Oh man, we were playing in the playoffs too. One of our garbage teams would have actually made it. All right. So just to let you guys know, first round we both made picks that we actually tried with. So I went with Sebastian Aho at 9, and he went with Alexander Ovechkin at 3. So that's not bad, right? Second round, I picked Roberto Luongo as my goaltender.
Keep in mind he's retired now, everybody. He's retired.
So then this guy goes and freaking takes Yager in the second round.
Hey man, the guy's a legend. The guy is a legend. Yager is a legend, bro.
You want to know why I picked Yager? Because I said I was going to take Yager, so he takes Yager.
Hey, I don't
So,
mess around. I don't mess around, man. You call it, I'm taking it.
so then, so in the third round, the Vietnamese noodle soups here freaking go, oh, we need a goalie. Scott Darling, welcome to the team.
The guy that what hasn't had a team signed for over a year now or something, or I don't know. It's ridiculous, bro.
So I'm like, you know what? I got one. I might as well get the other. So I picked the defenseman Sebastian Aho in the third round.
Let me see if I
Oh
can
my
find it. What was
god.
the name of the league?
It's like
Oh, there's
I
my
don't
team.
even know. It's
Oh
like
yeah,
Dallas
so
Canteen.
I had some decent players, but obviously like Brian Gianza no longer even plays, at least in the National Hockey League. Who was he?
Let me see.
Carl Alsner, Mark Streit, McCabe, Oscar Fantenberg. Ah, Jamel Smith, my guy.
Oh my
Jamel
god, you picked
Smith.
you picked Tristan Yari and he actually did good. That's sad. That
I
was
had
actually good.
Mrazek. Damn,
You had
that's ridiculous.
Scott Hartnell? What the heck? Oh, you had Tanner Fritz.
Yo, which team you looking at?
You cut some. You made a couple moves because we both made a couple moves later in the season because we were both
Oh yeah, yeah, I had
winless.
Tanner
We're
Fritz.
like, we
Yeah,
need
yeah.
to compete. And I
That is
actually beat
true.
that one guy. We both beat each other once. I beat that one guy because he sucked too. He was actually
Ridiculous,
trying
bro.
to, and I beat him.
Dude, who is this guy? This Winnipeg defenseman, T. Pullman?
I don't know.
Dude, I don't
Oh
even
my
know who this
god, I
guy
had
is.
I had Hendrik Sedin.
Hey, that
Oh
guy's a
my god, I
legend,
had
bro.
Yakupov. I had Yakupov. Let's
Neil
go.
Yakupov, yeah. Vinny Hinostroza. Hey, I had Ryan Pitlick. Oh no, it's Rem Pitlick. What the heck? Who names the guy Rem? R-E-M. Rem Pitlick.
Some French person.
Remy
Oh,
Pitlick.
I had Antoine Roussel. Let's go.
Drafted 158th by the Vietnamese noodle soups. Oh, I'm sorry, Vietnam noodle soups. My bad, I can't pronounce it the right way. Yeah, you're
For the
right though.
record, though, like, oh man, let's see. So in one round, let's go with the 15th round. I pick Hendrik Sedin. The Vietnamese noodle soup here picks Daniel Sedin. Now, I actually said I know who my next two picks are, and he goes, "Oh, okay." And he takes Daniel Sedin because he says, "I know who you want." So, in that time frame, okay, players such as Thomas Shabbat,
Chabot,
um,
Thomas Chabot. Yeah.
Shabbat. Okay, you know what? I had a teacher whose last name was the same spelling, and I said Shabbat, and they're like, "No, it's Shabbat." I'm like, "Okay," so now it's engraved in my mind.
What? Jab it? That sounds like the word jab it, like you're jabbing somebody.
So also drafted in that round, Alex Petrangelo, Kyle Connor, Aaron Ekblad. You know, they were good players. We didn't care. We just didn't care. Tuukka Rask. So we were just having fun, you know. And our teams somehow we were able to actually get a win over another guy. So you know, it was fun.
Dude, so I had a Hartford Whalers team, went 8-14. The Noodle Soups went 1-21, bro. At least I
Oh.
got one win. I didn't get shut out.
Yeah, it was against me. You beat-
Surprisingly.
no, my team stunk too. Both our teams sucked. I think you beat me. No, I beat you early on. You beat me on the second go.
Dude, I had like freaking, oh my god, I had like 3 teams, 4 teams. See, this was the good one though. the one that had under Shoot Farms. I mean, I didn't do very good. Won 8 and 14, but the players were obviously the Krug. The problem was freaking Malcolm Subban got traded. That was the freaking stupid thing. I had Carter Hart, which is decent.
Carter Hart.
Kinda hot, kinda hot, kinda hot, kinda hot, kinda hot.
Oh, hey, I see that the Golden Knights are up now, huh? I like it. Or, sorry, it's tied.
It's tied, man.
3-all, 3-all.
3-all. This isn't tennis, all right. This is I'm hoping the Islanders pull the
That
W.
would
Dude,
be
we're still in the first
40-all.
period.
Be 40-all, man, not 3-all.
You know
Ah,
what?
man. Know your tennis.
I'm not-
15 love,
Yes,
30 love,
I know how
40
tennis
love.
is played, bro. I know how tennis is played. I just was
Ah,
going
man,
by.
you weren't on that tennis team senior year, man.
Alright, I'm sorry I wasn't a Novak Djokovic. God. Freaking or oh my God. I'm not even gonna talk about that high school tennis team, cause that teacher was a spaz and kind of a clown looking, you know.
That's what you get with Cowboys fans.
Freaking hell. Alright, so don't be calling out fans too early, man.
Okay, hey, I'll be calling out Cowboys fans all I want. Cowboys suck. Don't at me. Dak Prescott is overrated. Don't at me. Dak Prescott is one of the most overrated quarterbacks in the NFL. Don't at me.
I got no comment about the
Don't at me.
the Cowboys.
Go ahead. If you guys want to at me, go ahead. At me on Twitter at Heartland Sports. Go ahead. I'll respond to you. All right. I'm kind of like Trevor. I'm like Trevor Bauer. I'll respond to you if you at me. So bring it on. Bring it on.
Oh my God, Vegas just took a lead, bro.
Go Knights, go! Oh my God! I'm freaking really the defenseman shoots and scores. Are you kidding me? Was that Theodore?
Why do they have Varlamov in net? They gotta have Thomas Grice.
Oh,
Because the
Alec
guy doesn't.
Martinez.
Varlamov doesn't know what corner to go to when somebody shoots it from the point. This guy's ridiculous. Varlamov should have stayed with Colorado.
He's does he even belong in the league at this point?
I don't know, because he assaulted somebody years ago. It's kind of true, man. You heard about that, right? A couple of years ago, like 3 or 4 seasons ago.
Hey, why isn't Slava Voinov in the league anymore?
Oh,
Then?
that's a different story, my friend. Why don't you ask the LA Kings organization about that one, huh? Or I could ask my associate buddy Dave, who's up in, or I guess down, because it's Heartland Sports out of Hartford, Connecticut, down in Long Island. But yeah, the Kings got some. And the sad part was that he was a decent player, and then he just hit the wall and boom.
I actually had him. That was the first year I did fantasy hockey, and I picked him, and I was like, "Oh, cool! This is gonna be a good player." Nope, suspended indefinitely. I'm like, "Oh, wow. Okay, goodbye, Slava. Goodbye."
Slava Voinov, man. The Kings have had good players over the years. I mean, obviously with those 2 cups, 2012, 2014, but like, it just seems like besides Kopitar, obviously that has kind of sizzled down the last 5 seasons to just an average player with decent points for a team that sits at the bottom of the league.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But like all the star players that were once on, like even like LA Kings didn't even hold on to freaking Hagelin. Was it Hagelin? Hagelin, yeah. Hagelin was the one that went from Pittsburgh to Pittsburgh. He got traded from Pittsburgh to the Kings, and then they went from the Kings to Washington. Because the King, bro, it's like...
You want to talk about Penguins
rebuild,
and the Capitals? Bro. Penguins and the Capitals, I got a hot take for you. Alex Ovechkin's better than Sidney Crosby. You want to talk? Let's talk, buddy. Bring it on. Bring it on. And
bro,
if you mention stats, just remember supporting casts.
Does Ovechkin have an Olympic gold medal? Thank you very much.
I don't know if he does.
Thank you very much.
He doesn't. Get banned?
He doesn't.
Did the Russians get banned from the Olympics last year?
I'm sorry, man. That's his problem. That's his. Oh, wait. Last year doesn't matter. I'm talking about back
United Athletes or whatever that they had to play as.
Yeah, the Unified. I forget what it was. Some United or Unified Athletes or something. It's like what is it? Unified Athletes of Russia or something like that. I don't
Unified Athletes. Unified Olympic Athletes. They couldn't mention Russia in the title. That I know. Does he have an Olympic Cup? I don't think he does. Or yeah, let's
Come
see.
on, score, Islanders. Score for
World
us.
champions. No, I don't think he does. He's got a world champion. He's got 3 golds in world champion plays, but I don't think he's got a World Cup because
This guy's garbage.
2014 he couldn't
Garbage.
play in 2018 if I remember. 2010 they lost to the Canadians. Okay, no, he doesn't. But that's just team play, man. Come on. So you want to tell me that the 1980 the Americans were by far the best in the world?
Well, that's an
So you want to
understatement.
tell me if I pull up like a random the best player on the American team and the best player on the Soviet team in 1980, you're going to tell me that the American player is better than the Soviet?
Well, that's
Obviously I'd have no idea who the Soviet player is because they're all in the KHL, but or whatever the heck the KHL was before then, because I think the Continental Hockey League's relatively newer.
I swear to God, they better not to let the Golden Knights score again. This is a bunch of bogus, bro. I mean, you're looking problems one, Varlamov and net. Problem two, you're at the Barclays Center for God's sakes. Like, let's be honest here, Eric.
Man, look at the fans. Look at the stands there. It's nice and
Exactly,
empty.
dude. They auto-filled the stands with extra fans. They somehow don't show the jumbotron being off center. I wonder why. You know,
Mm.
I don't know, man. I completely despise the Barclays Center for hockey use. Obviously, basketball. It's built for basketball. So, um,
So what's your hot take? You think Crosby's better than Ovechkin? Why? You're gonna mention the Stanley Cups. I already know that.
dude, the 3 cups, the gold medal. What he's got? Does he have two or one? I think it's just one Olympic gold medal. Maybe two. I don't remember. I
Wait, he
haven't looked
played
at
on the
his
women's team, right?
what? That was low, bro. That was low. Yeah, what did Ovechkin play on? The Spies? Come on, man. But oh my God, you can hear the crowd cheer yes when they score.
Of course you can.
I don't know. I mean, logically in my mind, I'm just thinking of Crosby, but like stats, if you include like, if you count like trophies they've got, like the Rocket Richard Trophy or the vet, like all these, it really evens out to the present day because Crosby had all his in his younger time, and now in the past few seasons, 4 or 5 seasons, Ovechkin's got all these other trophies. I mean, look at this year. You got the Rocket Richard Trophy tied with Pasternak. He's got that. That's his what, fourth,
And
fifth one.
where's Crosby in that?
Well, that's the thing. As it's opposites, bro. The careers are opposites. The older Ovechkin's getting, it's like the better he's getting. The older Crosby getting, it's like the worse he's getting. So like, oh my God, that was a collision, bro. It's like
Well,
it'll be interesting to see, especially the next 4 or 5 seasons. Like who? Obviously, you're thinking like you would assume. Oh, this guy says go Stars. All right. What do you think about the Stars, Eric? All right, hold on. Let's talk about the Stars for a minute. The Stars,
are the
as we
stars
know,
relevant, man?
hold on, we got to talk about what we got. They
Are they relevant?
well, here's the thing. They got this
Are they gonna do anything?
I don't know. We're going to see, bro. So, as
They're
we
gonna
know,
freaking get killed by Edmonton. Come
all
on.
right, all right. That's the thing. So, I mean, yeah, that's kind of I see your comment, Hunter, man. All I'm going to say is good luck to your Stars. If they get past the first the first team they play, congratulations. Other than
They're
that,
gonna play Edmonton unless Edmonton gets upset by freaking Chicago. That's
well,
not gonna happen.
we'll see. But if that happens, so let's say somehow freaking Chicago sweeps Edmonton, then you'd be like, oh, Stars got a chance. But I don't know. Last year the Stars, I don't know, man. It's like the Stars are kind of like a team that one year they go good. No, we're not a Blackhawks fan, man. What's wrong with you? This guy says, "Are you a fan?" No, actually, I'm a Bruins fan. And what are you, Eric?
I'm a Whalers fan.
Okay. Well, how about a team that exists for once, for God's sakes?
I'm a Flyers fan, man.
He's a Flyers fan. So,
Oh my God, 35 shots on goal for one team, 34 for the other. Dude, come on. Yo, you should save the star.
Hold on,
Oh
what's this
wait, the
hit
stars
ratio
are
here?
cool.
Dude, how they both won 19 face-offs. Dude, it's like, I freaking, that's the thing about the computer, dude. Like, the stats are gonna be pretty close. Dude, 0-0 hits? Alright, hold on. I should step in this game and deliver some hits, man. Let's, let me get in this game. Uh, um, but yeah, none of us are Blackhawks fans. You know, that could be my second or third team easily. Like, I'm not gonna. That. Wow, he says something you say very often, Eric.
What's that?
Don't you read the comments, bro?
I like this guy. I like this guy. I like this guy. I like this guy.
Oh shit, hold on.
Should I spam the comments to get that out?
No, it doesn't matter, bro. It don't matter, bro. It's fine.
Hey man, I like Canadiens.
You're not a Canadiens fan, bro. You're a Flyers fan.
Hey man, if I'm French Canadian and the team was literally created for French Canadians, I like Canadiens. My man, we gotta do another Rashad riot. Let's tear apart. Oh, let's tear apart. I don't know. I don't know where. We'll tear apart some city.
Yo, what's the default camera on NHL 20?
I don't know.
Oh crap. I forgot what it was.
That
The
was
overhead?
classic.
Is it over classic? I think it's classic. I'm gonna go with classic. Alright, I joined the New York Islanders. Let's deliver some hits on these freaking pieces of uh
Garbage.
yo, this is weird, bro. Oh my god, did I forgot to change the controls? Oh my god.
Rip.
Hunter also asked,
Watch
"Do you watch
soccer.
soccer?" Eric,
Yes and no.
why don't you answer this first, Eric? I think we know your
So
answer.
this is going to be where Patrick and I have like differing views on soccer. We both watch it, but we watch different aspects of it. So that's going to be interesting. So Patrick's gonna, he watches like he watches more like MLS stuff because he's got a team closer to him and it interests him. I watch more World Cup stuff. So, you know, 2022 when Qatar hosts the World Cup, I will definitely be excited. 2026, the World Cup is coming to the United States of America. I will definitely be going to a game regardless of what's going on. I will be going to a game. I don't know if it'll be Boston, Philly, New York, somewhere. I will be going to a World Cup game. I don't care who's playing. I will definitely be going. I'm excited about that. It's something I've been looking forward to for a long, long time. Back in 2010, December of 2010, when they announced the 2018 World Cup hosts, I remember I was in middle school and I was with a guy, and we were sitting in the computer lab, and I go on ESPN and I keep looking, I keep waiting for them to announce the results, and then we see, actually, it would have been the 2022 World Cup. My apologies. No, it was the 2018, so it would have been. Either way, it had to be 2022. It was the 2022 World Cup that they were announcing. So we see that Qatar is hosting it, and we're like, what? And then all that whole thing with corruption and FIFA comes out. So, it's interesting to know that, but it's definitely something I'm excited about, to follow the World Cup. When the Olympics eventually, if they happen this year or next year, it's definitely something to look
Sure.
forward to. I definitely will be covering it.
So you mainly watch. So sum it up. You Olympic soccer is what you're trying to say, right?
Countries, when it's the countries, man, I like
Crunchy.
that.
You watch country teams. Okay, yeah, and I follow the Major League Soccer, Atlanta United, Orlando City, a little bit of everything. My brother is a New England Revolution fan. Oh man, I don't know what to say about that, man. They're not a bad
Not
team,
good.
but they could have better
Haven't been
attendance on
well,
some
huh?
days. Nah, but
It's most likely way I'm gonna end up going to Foxborough to watch a game. because
Hey, you can
Patriots
get decent
tickets.
ticket prices for Gillette Stadium for MLS games.
One of my coworkers went to a Revolution game last year. He enjoyed it.
And obviously, since you watch more country teams and stuff, obviously they have like those game international friendlies and stuff always, like whether if it's in Hartford near Rensselaer Field um or yeah, maybe even at Gillette Stadium, or sometimes they play them at um other stadiums and stuff in New York as well. But all right, now we're gonna blow the heck out of these.
The Knights.
Yes, sir. It's currently 6-5 now. You know,
I know I'm
I'm
watching.
not playing fair though because I'm playing a rookie mode. So,
Bro, and you're only up by one?
hey, I'm not trying, man. I'm trying to give the Knights a chance. But
I
they're
don't
getting
even know
off
what to say.
sides on themselves, so why should I even try? But yeah. What other sports do you watch, Eric? Like, besides, do you watch any like out of the ordinary? All right, let me tell you why. The other night, I happened to be watching the Cornhole Championships.
Are you kidding me?
Dude, all right, I'm not gonna lie. I was watching it for like a solid 10 minutes, like these semifinals or something. And it was so weird because obviously with the whole coronavirus thing going on, they got to keep their distance. They're wearing full
Right.
face masks and stuff, and there's no audience at all there, and it's it's interesting. It's like it's not entertaining at all. Definitely not. But I was watching for the 5 minutes that I was watching it. It was like I was just watching it to see if they would just miss the hole. Put it this way: there was one guy out of like the 24 shots he took in the game, he made literally 22 of them in the hole with one shot. It's it's ridiculous, man. Like, but do you ever watch any or browse through any other sports that are like out of the ordinary? I guess if I had to say, like
So
outside
out
of
of the
major
ordinary,
sports. Like ordinary
out
would
of
be
the
like
ordinary.
baseball, soccer, basketball, hockey. Like for so
So
examples,
football,
cornhole, cricket, rugby.
um,
I'm not saying
so
follow them. I'm just saying just watch them. Like,
so last summer the World Cup of Rugby was on, and I was going to my barber to get my hair cut, and he had the game replaying. So I was in line. I was like the second in line. So I sat down and I put my phone down and I was watching it. Rugby's pretty cool. As an American, I don't understand all the rules, and I know there's a couple Australians in one of my fantasy football leagues, and they were telling me rugby sucks, and that's why they watch football, American football. Um, rugby's not bad though. I'll watch it in the Olympics. Speaking of Olympics, handball. Good luck finding an American born in the United States of America that knows much about handball. Um, you know, I probably know more than the average American does about handball, and I know basically nothing about it. I enjoy watching handball though, and I mean, kinda don't mind watching horse racing. I mean, we've been talking about going to Saratoga this year, so it's not going to happen, I don't think, because of the coronavirus scare. We were talking about going to Saratoga and Cooperstown for the Baseball Hall of Fame, but unfortunately, it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. So, it is what it is. But we're hoping that we can get there. Um, if we can, we definitely will take some videos for you guys. You will enjoy it. But yeah, right now it's just going to be a little difficult to go to either Cooperstown or Saratoga, unfortunately.
that's kind of sad, yeah. But oh crap, dude, I've had the puck
Yeah.
this fast. You've got to be kidding me, bro. This is ridiculous, bro. But um, yeah, it's kind of sucks that the museums and stuff are kind of, and who knows, like, especially if a second wave of this comes around. But so yes, what about basketball?
Nope, that's not me. That's not me at all.
Eric's not really interested in basketball. I
Nope.
I follow it and I don't follow it. I just kind of browse here and there. I mean, for example, in terms of the video content, like when basketball starts up, I'll be putting like maybe a video a week up about, playoff stuff and series, but I don't know, like obviously hockey and football are kind of the strongest things on this channel.
in
Oh my
baseball.
God, Vegas just baseball, a touch of hockey, a touch of basketball, and that's most of it. It's such a yeah, soccer. So um, we
I
don't really
mean,
follow specific teams necessarily on basketball. I mean, I know Eric doesn't, and I really don't either, honestly. But if you ever
so
asked
I
me if I
don't.
had a favorite team, I would just say like a, you know, what do you
You
say?
asked me, I'd say the 76ers for my favorite team, but I don't
Yeah,
really care about basketball.
and I would
So
say probably the Atlanta Hawks or something. But
I mean, you
but it
just got
does.
scored on by freaking rookie mode.
Hey, dude,
Come on, man.
shut up, dude. I'm trying.
I like the score.
This is the problem with talking about basketball. I suck at video games. No, I'm just kidding. But what was I saying? Crap, I forgot what I was saying. Trying to concentrate.
Now it's interesting because I live so
All
relatively
right, you know
close
what?
to
Let's
the
change
Basketball
this
Hall of
mode.
Fame. It's pretty close, but I've never really had interest in going. Not since I was a kid. I haven't been there in a long time, and I don't really have interest in going. It is what it is, you know. Basketball just doesn't attract me like other sports do. It's to me, it's too high paced. Like it's too. There's no fun in it when each team's scoring 100 plus points. I don't like sitting there watching each team score 100 points here, 100 points there. What's the fun in seeing a basket in the first quarter then? Like if I'm watching a hockey game and there's a goal in the first quarter, that's or the first period, that's exciting. If I'm watching a basketball game and there's a bucket, it's like I'm not going to be cheering. I don't care. It's one bucket. It
Oh
doesn't
my
mean anything.
God.
Unless it's a rookie and his first career points,
Play
then
that
cool.
game. Oh,
But
I don't play that game.
oh
Dude,
man, you got
dude, I changed it to superstar mode, dude. They're so physical.
oh, they beat you up, man. They beat you up.
Come on, come on, come on.
They know how to
Okay.
play in Superstar.
Yeah, it's called hacking mode.
Hacking mode. Oh
Bunch
man.
of garbage. Oh my, that's a freaking. All right. But I mean, but honestly, the positive about basketball, I'm not gonna lie, I do watch the playoffs in basketball, and especially when it comes to NBA finals, that is pretty entertaining, in my
You
opinion.
say so.
It definitely is, dude. Especially if freaking Steph Curry's involved, bro. This is what we're talking about. This is a bunch of garbage. Don't
It
tell me I
won't
just
be
got a
this year
penalty.
though. It won't be this year.
Yeah, I know. The Warriors are definitely not making the. And I'm kind of praying that the what's that other team? The Lakers don't make it. Not
Oh,
because of.
Lakers are in, man. Lakers are in.
Yeah, I'm not talking about not making the final. What?
Got you.
Why are we fighting? I didn't even want to fight. It's ridiculous. I gotta fight this guy.
You know,
Who is this guy? William
I
Carrier?
just hope that the Celtics don't do good in the playoffs because I don't want to hear
Hey man, the Celtics
all these
got
people.
a.
What?
Thank you. Oh, sorry.
No,
Just beat up.
I can't stand the Celtics.
The Celtics, the Celtics. I don't know, man.
Celtics. Sorry, I'm a history guy. I mentioned this in the Boston Bruins video. I say
Fuck, you're
Celtics.
gonna lose.
That's the proper way. That's like the proper pronunciation of the tribe. They were called the Celts. So,
Dude,
yeah.
this is ridiculous. I'm still winning 9-6 somehow. Well, I mean, we know why, but
True.
I'm
We do
just
know
trying. I'm
why.
just trying one. Oh man, he got drilled, bro. Oh man.
So, anyone got any questions for us here in the chat
That's
or
freaking
anything like that?
ridiculous. Yeah, if you got any questions, feel free to just pop them in there, whether it's sports related or preferably sports related, obviously, because this is Heartland Sports. It could be about teams, what we think about certain teams, what we think about certain sports. Have we ever watched this? Did we ever see a so and so game? Um, Here's a good question for you, Eric. I mean,
Yeah.
if we're talking about hockey, obviously, I'm trying to think how to say this. What would be the most memorable thing you remember about either the Flyers or any other hockey team in the past couple of years? Or I guess, all right, in this case, I guess you could do it for football, and I'll do mine for hockey.
When
Because
you
you've been
say
watching football.
memorable, what do you
As
mean?
in, I think I know what you would say, too. Just like something that an event that happened or the best sports event or sports thing that happened. All right, this is
Do
a
you
bunch of
mean like
garbage, dude.
physically at the game or just watching it
I'm off.
type of thing?
Either or, like preferably.
Uh,
I mean, either or. Yeah, it's like I remember we
Bro,
did
come
this
on.
when we were talking about getting to know the Heartland Sports Channel. Obviously, we did something similar to this, like the best memory or something of a sporting event or something we've had. Um,
But now you're capping it, which I like, because now it's not all around. Now you're saying a couple of years. So in that case, I still, I'm gonna say it's Eagles winning the Super Bowl, but I'm not gonna. That's gonna be my obvious answer. Other than that, let me think here.
I don't
Uh,
play fighting games. Oh,
I mean, I think my favorite hockey moment in the past couple of years has to be, you know, um, I was working one day earlier this year, and the Flyers were playing the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I was in the back taking care of doing some work in the back, and I was able to throw the hockey game on. So I'm listening to the Flyers Maple Leafs game, and the Flyers go and they score like 5 unanswered goals on Frederick Anderson, and I was enjoying every minute of it in that third period. I was enjoying that. It was a great day. It was a great game. Obviously, as a Flyers fan, so I was enjoying that. How about yourself?
Um, obviously, I mean, one of the top ones would definitely be the Bruins winning the cup in 2011. I remember where I was, when I was, how I felt, how happy I was. Similar thing to your experience, obviously, when the Eagles won, because, I mean, obviously the Eagles was the first Super Bowl for the franchise, but the Bruins was the first cup in decades, and it felt pretty much the same way. Um, Other than that, I mean, there's been multiple experiences, and there they go with another goal.
Mr. Hunter, no, to answer your question,
Maybe
not
you won't.
really. I
I mean,
I won't
I
really
might
take
do a
part.
video like that. But I think I might wait till basketball picks up again. Probably end of July or August. I'll do a video about that. It'd probably be like top five basketball players. Um,
Yeah, no.
that could easily be a
Oh,
two-segment one, either present, modern day ones, or all time. Because obviously you're looking at people like Michael Jordan and stuff. But
come on, Michael Jordan's too easy.
but yeah,
You got to go with
definitely
like
that's something to look
Larry
into for
Bird.
sure. Larry Bird, the Birdman.
Oh, I got quotes for day. I got a quote on Larry Bird. I should say not quotes for days. I got a quote on Larry Bird. So, I mentioned him because when I was in college for a semester, I had a teacher who was his name is Michael Albano. He's former mayor of Springfield, Massachusetts.
Hey.
So he actually, he was volunteering teaching, and he was there. He was the mayor of Springfield when Larry Bird was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. So he was telling me in the class, you know, yeah, it was great. I got to meet all these famous NBA players that would come in. And he said, but there was one guy who I was completely disheartened with, and it was Larry Bird. And question to you real quick. No, I'm gonna text you a word real quick, and I'm gonna ask you if you think it's appropriate to say it.
Oh my God.
It's not horrible,
Man, I'm glad
but
I had that 3 goal lead on these Knights, bro. They're back within one. This is
you think that
ridiculous.
word's appropriate to say?
Yeah, that's fine.
So, or basically, he goes, yeah. So all the guys would be coming in. You got Wilt Chamberlain, all them. They're coming into the town. They're all excited. They're all talking. They're going to the fans. The fans are talking to them. They're shaking their hands.
Thanks for the puck.
Everyone's excited, and they're making sure that the fans are happy. They're doing what they want to do. They're being showmen. And Larry
Yes,
Bird,
yes.
he says, Bird calls us, and he demands to have his own private security. He demands to have his own private security. He demands to have, he was ahead of the time for coronavirus because he demanded to have like a 15-foot radius of his security guys protecting him. No one's allowed in it. 10-foot radius, I think it was. So he wanted his personal space. And Larry Bird, apparently, everyone goes in and they're all coming in early so they can all talk to the players. Larry Bird comes in like half hour before his speech, And apparently, my professor went up to him, shake his hand, and he shook his hand, and he just kind of snubbed him. He gave his award speech, real quick induction speech, and then he left. So after the fact, my teacher said, "quote That man is the meanest son of a bitch I've dealt with." I'm just like, oh my god,
Oh my God.
are you kidding me? So he did not like him, and I remember I was telling one of my coworkers who's a big fan of Larry Bird. He's like, well, back injuries would do that to you. So it makes me wonder, because I did some research on it after the fact. Yeah, Bird dealt with a lot of back issues, and I had a back problem back in 2014, 2015, late. I'm trying to remember when I took that class. Yeah, late 2014. So like September of 2014, I got it, and I remember like my mood kind of changed. I became more aggravated with certain things, and it still flares up here and there. But I can just imagine having consistent, constant back pain. So I do feel for Larry Bird for that one. He went through a lot for the Celtics franchise. You know, no one's really ever said thank you to him for it, to my understanding. So it makes you wonder, but still, it's pretty cool to know that, I shook hands with a guy who shook hands with Larry Bird, Wilt Chamberlain. I don't know if he met Michael Jordan. He never mentioned it, but it's still pretty damn cool. Oh, another interesting thing too, well, since this is a sports channel, is he was talking about one time the team was very, very, very close to acquiring a minor league baseball team to play in the city of Springfield. So they were talking about building a baseball stadium, and for those of you who know the geography of the area, they were going to put it on the where the MGM Springfield was recently put up. They were planning about putting the baseball stadium there, and they were going to get the Pawtucket. What is it? Pawtucket Red Sox? No,
Yeah, yeah,
Pawtucket.
Pawtucket Red Sox. Yeah, yeah.
It is Pawtucket Red
The
Sox. They were going to
affiliate.
get the
Yeah.
Pawtucket Red Sox to move to Springfield. Everything was all set, and then apparently there was a Catholic church that refused to sell its
Hey,
land
let's
to
go.
to
Represent.
to the city because they didn't want it, and they didn't want they
Trick,
didn't want to sell their church's land, and the deal fell through for that. And then there was going to be a couple other things, and the city apparently was fighting them because they were going to use eminent domain, which is a whole different story. I'm not getting into it. That's a very political topic. But the gist of it is the government's allowed to seize private property if they're going to use it for public resources. So basically, the government can come here and buy your house, for example, and your neighbor's houses, and pay you a fair market value for it, give you X amount of time to move out, and then they tear down your houses, and let's just say they build a park there. They can do that. That's eminent domain. So apparently there was a whole legal case with eminent domain, and then the Pawtucket and the Red Sox were like, you know what, screw it. We're not doing that. We're not getting involved. So the deal just fell through from there. But it's interesting, I loved hearing this guy talk. He had so many stories. I really enjoyed listening to his stories. It's just, he's a guy that if you get a chance, Michael Albano, I would definitely listen. I would definitely see if I can get a class with him if you ever have a chance. He liked me. I actually, he wrote on one of my finals. He wrote, if you want, if you ever need anything, if you need like a recommendation, let me know. So I'm definitely going to take him up on that someday. If I end up going to a 4-year university, I definitely will take him up and get a recommendation from him. So it's pretty cool, It's pretty cool to know someone like that, knows who I am. But yeah, that's my story on Michael Albino, one of my people that I know,
Oh
and
my God, can't get a goal for God's sakes. But yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, follow-up question about that. I know you mentioned obviously that team that almost could have happened in Springfield,
Mhm.
Massachusetts. Do you think? I mean, obviously, and the score again. Obviously looking at Hartford. They got the Yard Goats back in 2016 that moved from that used
New
to be
Britain.
obviously New Britain Rockcats, yeah, and obviously the New Britain have New Britain Bees now, if they still do. I think they do still.
Yeah,
They're
bees
like
are still there.
they're like what, a single A team or something?
Independent. No, they're an independent, so they
Independent
don't.
league.
Yeah.
But obviously you've seen how successful the Yard Goats have been. I mean, the attendance has been great. I think it's been the top of the league if I'm correct.
It's been right up
The
there, yeah.
last 2 seasons, they got the best ballpark voted. I mean, obviously, that's kind of a given because it was a new ballpark, anyways. But and you can see basically the city can definitely support that team. Now, looking at a city like Springfield, it's obviously a little smaller. Um, like let's just say in the future they came up with an idea to have another. I don't even know where they were at of space, but let's say they found another spot in Springfield to put the to put a baseball field in. And obviously they have the casino now. Obviously they have the Naismith Memorial Hall of
Yep.
Fame for basketball. And Six Flags right down the road there. Like, question being, you think they can support a team for in the long run? Like we're saying, what, single or double A team most likely if that happened.
In the long run, no,
Yeah,
I don't think they can anymore. The only way, the only thing I could see them doing is I think, here's the thing. Let's look at the Thunderbirds. They don't have good attendance, really. So they don't necessarily, you know, I don't see them being able to support a baseball team just because Hartford's right down the road. I think if you want to go to a baseball game, you're going to go to Hartford. I think same thing if Springfield had a team, Hartford wouldn't have a team. There's just no real reason to compete. They're too close. And nowadays, as we've been seeing with the AHL, everything's trying to go more spread out across the nation. So we don't really have Northeast AHL teams as much anymore.
that's so
It's more
sad
spread
too.
out. So I don't think that the minor leagues would be, minor league baseball would say, hey, you know what? Let's move to Springfield, Massachusetts. I think they're going to say, hey, let's move from, I don't know, wherever this hypothetical minor league team wants to move from. Let's move from Binghamton to, I don't even know, man. It's like someplace in Kentucky or something.
Right.
Because Louisville really wants an MLB team, so they could probably easily support yet another minor league franchise if it's close enough. So, I just don't see it happening. But it
Yeah,
is.
that's kind of
I
crazy.
just don't see it happening. I mean, like I said, the Thunderbirds' attendance has been bad lately. I was at that sellout game that they had earlier this season when they were the Springfield Isotopes. That was pretty dang cool. It was a whole Simpsons theme. So I enjoyed that game. I went with my buddy. We both happened to have that night off, and that never happens when we both have the same time off. We're both usually working. Typically one of us is working that at night, but we got lucky. So, yeah, that was a fun game. That was a fun game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not crazy about the Thunderbirds, man. Springfield Falcons was what I was a fan of, and then when they left, I was like, and then I wasn't a big fan that they freaking took the Portland Pirates from Maine, dude. Like, you look at all the teams that have left, like New England, like you were just saying. I mean, look at the Manchester Monarchs left for that expansion, AHL expansion out west. The Worcester Sharks left, become the San Jose Barracuda. Like all these teams just
Yep.
foot was like three or four of them or something went from New England, obviously, all the way across the country to California.
See, we lost Worcester. This the original Springfield team. Yeah. That's how it is. Albany River Rats. Never saw an Albany River Rats home game.
Hey man, I got a puck from them. Well, actually, I don't have a puck from them. I have a puck that I bought at the store that has the logo on it
Yeah.
from
I
like
think I did too.
2006.
I think I got one of the Philadelphia Phantoms.
Dude, that was a cool name, bro.
Favorite random NFL player. I'm assuming that's more for me.
Yeah, you can answer that
Oh
one because
God,
you're more.
random. That's tough. I mean, there's guys all around the league that I can tell you I like. One guy I always liked, Boston Scott, current Eagles running back. Was on the Saints beforehand. Before he broke out, I told one of my coworkers, I said, "Hey man, listen, Boston Scott, know the name. This guy's good." And then Boston Scott goes and dominates at the end of the regular season. And he goes to me and he says, "You were spot on about Boston Scott. I was telling one of my other friends who's an Eagles fan what you said about Boston Scott." And they said, "Who's Boston Scott? He's on the Eagles?" So, I mean, you could say Boston Scott. You could say Greg Ward Jr. Off of Philadelphia, Chad Beebe. It's got to be my guy. Wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings. Very random, but his dad, Don Beebe, was one of the Buffalo Bills for 3 or 4 of their Super Bowl losses. He ends up winning one for the Green Bay Packers.
Packers,
I think it
Packers,
was
Packers.
'97, so against the Patriots to make it even better, more insult to injury for the Patriots. And he made this great play that if you have watched '90s football, you know Leon Lett celebrates scoring a touchdown way too quickly, and the ball gets knocked out of his hands and ends up being a touchback. So that was a very funny play to watch, especially as someone who doesn't like Cowboys. Granted, I wasn't alive at that point, but yeah, favorite random NFL players. I mean, if I look at the rosters, I can give you a bunch of random guys that I like. But I mean, random's just kind of weird. One of my go-to guys is always Chad Hall. He was an Eagles receiver from Air Force. In like the early 2010s, he was randomly on the team for a couple seasons. That's one of my most random go-to guys that proves, I know my Eagles.
Oh
So,
my god. Kidding me.
how are you losing 14 to freaking
Varlamov,
10,
dude,
man? This is a
I finally scored a goal on him like 2 minutes ago, right when you started talking. Dude, yeah,
this
I
is
know.
like a freaking football
I
score,
was up
man.
9-6 before. Dude, that's because the periods are like 15 minutes, man. But yeah, I'm not having any luck with my one-timers, man. I mean,
You're
freaking,
playing All-Star
I'm playing
Superstar mode.
Flurry. That's the problem. I'm playing Flurry, man.
No, they bench Flurry. Got Liner out there now.
Still, it's not like freaking Scott Darling where I can score every shot.
No, my freaking Scott Darling.
Yo, did I tell you? I told you that experience. I was at that Hurricanes game, and Darling couldn't catch that puck. It went in the net. Do you remember that?
Oh, I do remember
The
that.
game had just started, and oh my God, who were they playing? I can't remember who they were playing.
You were
And
mad.
I was sitting behind with my sister behind in Carolina at PNC Arena, like what 7 or 8 rows behind the Carolina net. Dude, this guy just chips the puck in on Darling. He looks like he's about to catch it. Dude, it goes right by his glove into the freaking top left corner of the net, dude. And I'm like, oh my god. Like literally like 2 minutes into the game. I think they got blown out that game. We ended up leaving like before the 1 minute mark. So we're gonna beat traffic instead of see the home team lose.
Ah, so you were a typical Hurricanes fan, non-existent.
You mean front runners? Front
Ooh.
runners?
Ooh.
Hey man, you gotta support them, man. The one team I
Nope.
could never support is the Florida Panthers, man. Like if
So you could support the
anybody's
Arizona
watching
Coyotes.
over the Florida Panthers, heck yes. Now the problem with the Coyotes is not their fans; it's the freaking ownership and the management with the arenas, dude. It's gonna be it's like the same thing with the freaking Atlanta Thrashers, dude. They did good in attendance, but they
No,
couldn't.
they
Their
didn't.
owners were garbage, dude. Well, yeah, the freaking attendance went down when the freaking fans found out. Oh, why did I say freaking fans? When the Blue Land Nation found out that um that the team was obviously not doing good in general, but at the same time having all these problems, dude. Like I don't know, man. The Coyotes like are doing decent in attendance right now, but they're still near the bottom. Hurricanes have managed to pull up to like number 22 out of 31. Somehow they're above Columbus and Winnipeg. Well, I mean, Winnipeg only averages 15,000 because it's a smaller arena, so that's a different thing. But oh my god, dude, I'm just now going into
So,
the third period.
well, we got a second here. You want to do like a quick rundown on what we're gonna do for the future videos type of thing?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So you guys know, there will be a video coming up tomorrow. It's gonna be just me doing my favorite players on the NFC teams for football. The AFC video came out yesterday. NFC is gonna be tomorrow, um, or Sunday. It depends on a couple little things. I was actually trying to get the video recorded today, and I had a couple problems pop up where my phone decided to die on me, so yeah, it didn't work out all that well, unfortunately, but time will hopefully in the future things work out better. I am intending to invest in a camera type of thing so I can actually record videos better, but that'll be a future endeavor of mine. Um, I don't know if we're gonna really. Right now, we do have a. If this works out well, which it seems like it's doing, we intend to do a live stream like this every Friday. Just discuss random things, talk all things sports. Of course, once sports are back, we might change the day, possibly, because, typically marquee games are on Friday nights, so we might want to watch a game. We might even just watch games and give commentary to it. It works sometimes. Every Friday, though, you will be getting a history of video. I'm going to try to rotate right now, and I'll level with you guys. I have yet to start NFL teams, but I do have some MLB teams done. I'm not going to commit to a team yet for this upcoming Friday, which would be today's the 5th, so the 12th. I don't have a team yet, but it's going to be another AL Central team. More likely than not, I'll be doing. It's going to be Chicago or Detroit. I don't know which team I'll be doing, but that's going to be the goal. And then the week after will probably end up being Kansas City and another video, which we'll get to. I don't know what I'll do yet. Kansas City is going to be a quicker video. This upcoming Monday, which will be the 8th, I have a plan. I'm going to do a video discussing the players drafted before Mike Trout. So that's going to be an interesting one. It's definitely something that you want to look into and listen to. A lot of these guys didn't have great careers. At one point, Patrick and I were talking, and I listed all the players drafted before him, and he had no idea who some of these guys are. I had no idea who some of these guys are. Like, to give you a brief little insight here, obviously, number one pick, Steven Strasburg, not bad at all. Good player. But then we get to other players, like, let's go with, we're talking to a Braves fan here. Number 7 overall, Mike Minor. Like, okay, who really cares? And then you get, later on, I'm looking for the guy's name, or the guy's when he was picked. Why am I not seeing him? There he is, 19th overall, St. Louis Cardinals, Shelby Miller. Like, these are guys that at least made it to the majors. There are so many guys who did not make it to the majors. So it's kind of going to be a good video. It's going to be a little quick. It's not going to be like a 20-minute video. It's going to be more like a 40-minute video. But I'm excited to do it. Should be fun. After that, though, I don't know if we're going to have anything coming up Tuesday through Thursday. We'll probably try to get something up or another. The videos I'm trying to do myself are more the history ofs and the longer videos type of thing. If you guys do have suggestions, definitely feel free to comment if you want. Patrick and I were talking about doing how we were talking about earlier today, doing an NHL, when we did the NHL fantasy draft and we were joking around and taking all these garbage players. We could do it again. We could do it for baseball. If that's something that interests you guys, we would definitely not mind doing that. Find these obscure players in Major League Baseball that just nobody's heard of for the past 3 years. He's already got dibs on a player, and I've already got dibs on a player. We won't give away who. If it ends up happening, definitely let us know in the comments if you think that's an interesting video topic. It would be like an hour-long video, so we'd probably end up doing it next Friday type of thing, or another Friday. But we could try if it's something that interests you guys. We have a lot of video ideas in mind. I mentioned earlier in my history of video today that I was talking about doing player bios. That's going to be something that's going to take a little bit of time to do research on. Not as long as a history ofs, but if I can, I'll get a set schedule out on those as well. I've yet to start player bios. I'm only through the AL East and AL Central, except for the Cleveland Indians, and I've only got 2 NHL teams done. So I definitely have a lot of research to do for all of teams and everything like that. But, player bios are something that we definitely want to do. There's so many interesting players. Again, leave us a comment if there's a player in particular that you want us to discuss. I have a bunch of bigger names. There's going to be I have a couple dates that are going to be set, and I'll let you know the specific dates when they get closer. Some of the older players, though, I won't be able to really do a video on, so I might combine a couple of them. I might do a video like, okay, here's three guys that couldn't really justify getting their own video, so here they are grouped together. Once sports are back into action, we might try to limit these types of videos and maybe focus more on getting a set schedule for sports recaps and all that good stuff. I don't know. I've been kind of trying to figure out certain things, and I'm thinking what I'm going to try to do is once the NFL season starts, I'm going to try to every Tuesday do a video recapping the past week. So Thursday night football, and then the Sunday games and the Monday night games. If I can, I might try to do a fantasy video, probably not every week, but something that's interesting. Again, that's up to you guys. It's something I wouldn't mind doing, but if you guys have no interest in it, I'm not gonna do it, and not let you guys just put content up that you guys have absolutely no interest in. So yeah, just definitely let us know if you have any suggestions. We're always happy to listen to suggestions. At this point, please leave comments and suggestions. We see everything that you guys send us, so definitely feel free to leave a comment. We will respond to you as long as you're not a bot. We have absolutely no problem responding to you. So yeah, that's me giving a little essay there.
I was gonna say something. I forget what you were talking about before, but oh yeah. So like you said, obviously, once sports pick up, there might be a lesser load of obviously the history videos that you'll be doing. But
Yep.
obviously, since basketball and hockey are looking to continue and finish the seasons like towards the fall kind of time, um, there will be probably another break there between October and December or something before they pick up
Right.
that half season or whatever they do. They might just cut. I don't know if they said that would they want it still to be a full season next year for hockey. I don't know about what basketball said, but I don't know how that would work because that means they would practically start the season right away and use this time now as the off season potentially. But I think that's kind of
They can't do that.
how are they going to do that with the people that win the Stanley Cup though? Because for some people, it'd be like, oh, I actually want it because you're supposed to be like, every player gets every day with the cup or something.
No,
That wouldn't happen.
I know like baseball is talking about their rumored starts. They're talking about potentially having to just push back next regular season as well. I think basketball was doing the same thing where they're saying, okay, what we're going
I
to do
would
is we're
just cut
going
it
to
in
delay
half,
it.
man. Just do it like they did the lockout in hockey in 2013. That way they can at least get things back to normal times and stuff. Because that's just going to screw everything up, in my opinion.
The question is, will the Players Association agree with the ownership? Because the ownership's going to say, hey, listen, if we're playing half season, you guys get half your salary because we get half our revenue. And that's what baseball's fighting about right now. We're definitely scared here, or at least I'm scared in Heartland Sports, that there's going to be a lockout next season for baseball. They're trying to negotiate right now, and it's not looking good. So I'm a little concerned that we're going to be in a situation where we very well might not have baseball this year or next year. It's very concerning. A lot of guys have been coming out and saying things. Trevor Bauer, very outspoken. He's going out and saying, don't be shocked if there's no baseball this year. And I remember, what the heck's his name? Again, Bauer, but there's another guy, former Phillies pitcher. He's a sidearm thrower. Pat Neshek. Yeah, Pat Neshek. He's been around for a while, and he said last season that he expects a lockout, and that was before the whole coronavirus thing. So I'm definitely expecting a lockout of sorts. So it's a little annoying because, I love fantasy sports and sports in general. It's been a tough couple of months without any sports to look forward to. Unlike Patrick, I have yet to watch a single Korean baseball organization game.
Yo,
So yeah, if you
Korean
guys
baseball,
want
man.
if you guys want Patrick to do a video about the KBO, definitely feel free to
Yo,
leave
I
a comment
might,
because he watched a
dude.
couple videos.
I might, dude. These NC Dinos are freaking killing this season, bro. I checked their thing the other day and they're like, what, 18-7? Like, oh my god, dude. Like they're killers. And you look at the team at the bottom is like a complete opposite, 8-16, 8-7. It's very interesting. Put it this way, if you watch, obviously they have quite a few different rules where they don't play past 12 innings no matter what. even if the score is tied, they just end it like that. Obviously, the universal DH. But other than that, obviously Eric knows as well that there's MLB players that go and play over there, and um, but that's because of the time ways. It's really hard to watch it from here, even being on the East Coast like we are. Um, like like maybe 2 days a week, I think it is. They have it airing live on ESPN or ESPN2. Some games start like the weekend. Like for example, a game tonight or tomorrow, and that time, since it'd be like 12 hours ahead or whatever, would start at like 1:30 a.m. here, or it would either start at 5:30 during the week, because of the whole time change. So it's definitely hard to watch, unless you're watching it on like a highlights basis or something. But um, it's very interesting. It's very obviously they still don't have, of what I've seen, they still don't have fans in their stadiums yet. I'm not sure how long that will be, but yeah, it's pretty something I've never seen before, obviously, and something that I peek at here and there because of MLB not being in play at all at the moment. Um, so yeah. Other than that, though, yeah, everything else looking good. What you said about the channel, I don't know if you mentioned this or not, but the also on top of this, you could have mentioned it, but the weekly the race video recaps I was planning on doing.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't.
The one the first one I updated or uploaded, sorry, a couple days ago was the Food City one, Food City 500 one. The format's not going to be like that. Next week, that was kind of a pilot kind of thing, just to see how it goes and how I read through the all the cautions and all the accidents, etc. Um, it's going to be read the same way, but the format's going to be different. And obviously, I'll try to put obviously the logo, the speedway, and other stuff incorporated, as well as myself in the video, um, to make it more entertaining to watch than just staring at a paper that I'm reading from, pretty much. Um, so yeah, those would be like weekly videos a day or two after the race, and that's based off of the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. Um, this weekend, this was to be in Atlanta, so there'll probably be a video on that coming out on Monday, most likely, or Tuesday for sure. If it's not Monday, it'll be Tuesday for sure. But yeah, if you're watching this at all between the time we started the video or to now, or in the future, feel free to comment and subscribe. And we have Instagram links in the for our profile in the channel, on the channel homepage, as well as we should have the Twitter there as well, for Heartland Sports that Eric manages and I manage the Instagram. So yeah, we're excited to see where this goes. Oh, nice going for our alarm off. And yeah, you got any other comments or any other topics you want to talk about?
Not there's nothing really like too major left to really talk about. To me. I mean, there's plenty of research I always have to do for these videos. I do intend, if plausible, to continuously upload one history of video every week for the foreseeable future, even when sports are back. The only exception might be once we get close to the holidays, I might have to stop, depending on my job, if I'm still employed, because I don't know if I want to last that much longer there. But I do intend on, uploading a video every Friday for the foreseeable future, though, because it's just something that is fun to do. I'm not seeing a lot of history of videos up there. So yeah, if you guys, like I said, if you have any suggestions, definitely feel free to leave a comment. We have no problem with doing a video that has to do with, like, a fantasy draft or something, with the fantasy being like MLB The Show or something. when it comes to playing the games on the PlayStation, we both have MLB The Show. We both have NHL, obviously. I have Madden, so if it's something you guys want to see, I can't play it, but I have no problem like drafting a team, doing a team challenge, team building challenge. I've seen a couple of those videos in recent weeks coming up. Um, I don't have NBA 2K, so I won't really be able to do that for you guys. But I would also have no problem doing like an all-time challenge. So if that's something you guys are interested in, definitely feel free to let us know. We have no problem doing video games. It's not our ideal thing, but I know right now it's just not an ideal. I mean, sports aren't exactly on right now, so things are different than they normally would be. So yeah, definitely feel free to leave us suggestions if you have any. Definitely.
And I see Hunter asks why NASCAR.
Why
That just
NASCAR?
Yeah, why NASCAR? One of the that happens to be one of the sports that I follow. That's kind of why. This kind of like so yeah, Heartland Sports is just it's a combination of the sports Eric follows with the sports I follow, kind of all put together in this channel. Which is kind of why, for example, the basketball videos you'll be seeing less of those on this channel because we're both kind of not really basketball is kind of near the bottom in our top favorite sports compared to football, baseball, and hockey. But yeah, I follow NASCAR. I do fantasy NASCAR with a couple people
Oh,
that
you
I
do
know.
fancy NASCAR. That's just funny. That's just funny to me.
Dude, I do fantasy drivers, bro. It's actually pretty fun, man. It's not as bad as you think. You think NASCAR and you think boring. Um, but yeah, it's interesting. Hunter says, "Are you racist?" No, we're not racist. Of course not. It's just basketball's not that entertaining for us as we think.
Are
Basketball's
you
not that
kidding me?
entertaining, man. Like we just uh we just watch more hockey and baseball, to be honest. Eric watches more football, of course. I don't really watch football or basketball, really. I just follow hockey and a little bit of NASCAR and baseball. So let's see, Columbus. Let's do this.
It's still funny to me.
It is funny, bro. But
He's kind of funny.
it's kind of. I mean, I might have asked that if I would have heard the same thing. Nowadays, people are crazy, bro. Everybody
I have
assumes,
no comment. I plead the fifth.
hey, man. I don't know, man.
Je suis American. I plead the fifth. Man, who wants to watch the Coyotes play the Blue Jackets? There's no fans from either team.
Dude, this is 3v3s, bro.
Again. Anything, any question, anything that you want to say that doesn't even have to relate with sports, possibly? Oh yeah, yeah. Here's one for you. How come your fantasy hockey team was named the Vietnam Noodle Soups?
Oh yeah.
I'm
That's not
curious.
racist at all. I'll tell you that. That's because I happen to know a lot of Vietnamese people. Put it that way.
How do you know them?
Because I work with them, man. That's why.
Where do you work? A
Sir, I'm
restaurant?
not gonna give out all this info. That'd be ridiculous. Um, but this guy is such garbage, man. Garbage, garbage.
You know who's garbage? People who played on the Vietnam Noodle Soups.
No, not garbage. Actually retired, sir.
Oh,
Retired.
right. There's a
Brian
difference.
Gianta, man.
I had Ryan Callahan.
Hey, at least it wasn't O'Callahan. Actually,
Man,
he probably
how
would have
would
been a better
Don
player.
Cherry mispronounce that one?
Speaking of racist, just kidding.
Freedom of. Actually, he's not
Okay, the
American.
goalie
Is
chipped
he
me.
American?
I don't know
I
the
don't know if
guy,
he's
man.
American or not. I don't know if he's American or Canadian. I think he's Canadian, actually, so.
What time is it? 9:46. But yeah. Be interesting to see how this channel goes.
Yeah, we're noticing growth, which is always good. You know, it's not the easiest thing to be growing a sports channel at this point in time, just because there's really no sports going on in the United States or Canada, and the sports that are going on are things like cornhole. Oh, speaking of cornhole, I got a
UFC.
question for you. What's up?
What? Huh?
Oh, do you remember um, when we were seniors on the
Yep.
day we got our
Yep.
yearbook signed?
Yep.
You know where I'm going with this.
To the cornhole thing that me and Tyler made.
Yep.
We had the teachers play cornhole with us outside, but that was pretty fun.
Were you my teammate when we whooped the two teachers' butts? Because nobody expected me to be as good as I was, and I was even
I
surprised that
don't
I was
remember.
kicking butt. I think it was you and me versus that young history teacher,
Burrell.
and
Yep.
I think our stats teacher was the other guy. No,
Probably.
no, it wasn't him. It was who was his teammate? I don't remember, but we were good. We
I don't remember
beat him
either.
good. We beat him. So
But yeah, those are the cornhole things that me and my friend Tyler made for senior year as part of a project in a materials class. It was pretty cool, man. Like we made the whole thing, carved out the holes and stuff, and then we painted. I forget how did we paint them. Do you remember?
I think you did the Red Sox logo. I don't remember, man.
I forget what it was, but and then Tyler ended up keeping them himself after, because I was like, I'm never gonna use them. Um, oh, that was funny, bro. But
You know what's funny? I actually saw his when I was out in the center of town today. I actually saw his company's work trucks because they're
oh really?
doing a project in the center of town. Yeah, I
Huh.
didn't see him or his brothers, but
I mean, I know he
it's
still
interesting.
lives. I'm pretty sure he still lives with his family at that house that was off of the main road.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's
I
all I
haven't.
remember.
Hey man, maybe he follows Twitter. I'll at him. Nah, I'd be better off DMing him. In all honesty. Oh, if you guys want some real fun though, if you guys have any baseball questions, um, let me know, and I'll try to phrase them in a little bit of an insulting manner, and we'll send it to Trevor Bauer because Trevor Bauer is very good at responding to messages if you insult him. So if you send him something like "Trevor, you're an idiot," he'll get all mad at you and he'll respond to you. So if you guys want to have some fun, feel free to at Trevor Bauer. It's at Bauer Outage.
Are
Uh,
you serious? Bauer outage? What is that garbage, bro? Oh my
He's a very
gosh.
outspoken guy, so he has no problem responding to you. Just don't tell him we sent you. I don't need a angry Bauer outage coming at me.
But oh man, that's funny. But
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, one video I'll be doing at some point soon is I'll definitely be doing a video showing my sports memorabilia collection because I know Patrick did his a while ago
wow, I
about the
gotta
jersey
bump it
he
down to
has. I
120.
don't have jerseys per se. I have three jerseys in my collection, which isn't the same. But I have more sports memorabilia than he does. I'll show you guys a lot of the stuff I have, which, we mentioned in our Getting to Know Heartland Sports video. We had the question of, what sports memorabilia do you have? I do have a signed Jonathan Papelbon warm-up shirt jacket from his rookie season in Boston. I have I've collected over the years.
Man, I remember seeing Papelbon on TV, bro. I remember
I
people
remember
in
seeing
school
him
walking
choke
around
out
with shirts.
Harper.
Huh?
I remember watching him choke out Bryce Harper in the dugout.
When he was a Nat
Yep.
national.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing people walking around in Nathan Horton stuff.
Bro, it's crazy,
Milan
bro.
Lucic.
Milan Lucic. Dude, I remember when Milan Lucic was when the Bruins were playing the Canucks one night, and after the game, Lucic went to a bar and almost got in a fight with somebody.
Oh my god.
It was like a night after or a night before they played the Canucks or something. He'd gone out to a bar with like a few other players, and nobody knew who he was. And then
He was young at that point. It's like a second year player or some third year player.
it was like a year. I think it was a year or two after they won the cup or something. I don't remember.
Oh. Oh,
I
okay.
don't know. That could
How
be
does nobody
inaccurate.
know who he is, man? Come on.
Because it's
Come on,
Vancouver,
man.
man. Vancouver doesn't.
If I were to
Vancouver
see.
doesn't even know who their own team is.
Ooh. Hot take.
Well, but they all right. They'll know who Pedersen is though, because the guy's a hot rookie. That's the problem. He's got the
He's not a
skills.
rookie. Second year
What?
player.
Right, but I'm saying like he came out as a hot rookie. For example, looking at other players like McDavid and stuff. Like dude. You go to freaking you go to a bar in Vancouver now, and you're like, hey, what position is Louis Erickson? Be like, what the fuck is Louis Erickson?
Who's Louis Erickson? Oh, that guy
They,
that you threw all this money at, and he's done absolutely nothing for your franchise. Oh, you mean the Bruin? Yup.
I don't know. The Canucks have potential.
I
I don't
mean,
know, man. It's still going to be a few more years. Like after they lost to the Cup in 2011, obviously you could see immediate downslide coming. But then
well, yeah. I mean, especially now that the Sedins are long gone at this point.
now it's kind of picking up again. Oh, you pieces of garbage coyotes, man. I don't know why I'm playing 3v3s.
I don't either, man.
Hunters just play other people, not the AIs. Well, actually, you know why I'm kind of keeping it safe with the AIs right now is because sometimes,
You said
sometimes,
fatty. I like this guy.
sir, this is not a rebellion. This is not a rebellion channel, sir. Nah, but what I was saying was the reason I don't play when I live stream, I kind of keep it to the AIs because a lot of times the connection can go in and out, especially since there's a good distance between me and Eric.
Canada.
Um,
Hey Patrick, I got a question for you. Can you explain to people what a Nets is?
what a Nets is New England Tractor Trailer Training School. That's where all the wannabe
Can you,
truck drivers go. It's located in Summers.
didn't you want to
Located.
go there at
It's
one
located.
point?
I actually had interest and actually could have gone, but I didn't want to live my life on the road. Do you remember that commercial? Like, join us at Nets.
Today.
They were all old farts that were like at least in their 50s or 60s, if not older, and then just one.
And
There's
they
just
show
one.
like the two women in the front.
Yep. There's just one guy in there that's like 25 years old. It's like, oh, that could be me, but no.
That could be me.
Hey, well, at least we can both say we know a friend though that doesn't know how to spell Michael Phelps, so that's embarrassing enough.
Wait, how do you spell Phelps?
I'm pretty sure it's PH, not F.
Back in the day.
Back in the day, it's kind of crazy. That was literally like what 5 years ago now.
Yeah,
Five
man, we
years
were still
ago,
seniors, I'm
that
pretty
one night
sure.
we were at Burger King. This guy, man. Name a celebrity with MF. Michael Phelps.
So, MF, I'm like, oh, Morgan Freeman. No. So I'm like stunned at that point. I
Wait,
forget what you
you said
said.
I thought you said Maurice Senior. Who? I said Michael J. Oh, I said Michael Fox is Michael J. Fox
Oh, that's what you said. Yeah, you were
from
Michael
Back to
Fox.
the
See, I said
Future. Yeah,
Morgan
yeah.
Freeman.
And he said
And he's
Michael
like, nope,
Phelps.
nope. Oh, yeah, guys, I'll give you a hit. He's Olympian. We both look at each other. We're like, Olympian. All right, guys, he's a swimmer, an Olympic swimmer. And I remember we look at each other, and you go, Michael
Uh,
Phelps? He's like, yeah. And I just start laughing. You start laughing. And we're like, wait, you know Phelps with a PH, right? He's like, no, it's not.
Yo, and this guy's like what, 17? How the heck did he get a diploma is the big question. But
Well, we know
that's
the answer to that. We
yeah.
know the answer to
We'll just say it's imagination.
that. Imagination.
But how do you miss an open netter, dude? Oh wait, you're a Blue Jacket.
Oh my god. Hey, let's ask that first overall pick from like the '90s who missed that open netter that one time.
Hey, they need to bring back the mullet look, man. And yes, I am saying that because of Yager, man. That guy's a legend, bro.
Well, man, you could bring back the mullet look. I just got my haircut today.
Are you serious? Did you have to wait long?
Yeah. No, he was actually. I called him, and he's like, "Oh, if you come here within the next chunk of time, I don't have any scheduled people, so I get there in like 35 minutes because I just walk to him. There's no point in driving if you know how he's relatively close to me, so I enjoy just going on the walk, and I go on the walk, and I literally waited like what opened the door. I literally waited for him to put his mask on. That's literally what the wait was. Like, I'm not even
But
joking. I've been waiting to get a haircut for a while. It's been a long time.
yeah, I
It's
gotta
been
get
a
mine
long time.
again. I mean, I had one of my siblings cut it a while back, but dude, it's been already a month, over already like a month and a half since then, if not 2 months, bro. It's crazy, dude.
Man, put it this way. Patrick can vouch, I always get my haircut. I always have a buzz cut. And the fact that I couldn't get my haircut for months, I got my haircut probably mid, late April, late February, I'm pretty sure. And I couldn't get my haircut until today. So I went 3.5 months talking my haircut. I hated it. I hated it. I had to actually maintain my hair. I hate when that happens, man. That's too much. That's too much for me. It's too much effort. Because here's the problem. I have thick hair, and it's doable, but I don't like having thick hair. And hey, the other good thing is you can't see my hairline receding. But then again, I'm not LeBron James, so boom roasted.
And once again, we're not racists. Let's talk about basketball for a minute. I know you don't want to talk about. I want to talk about it because
Oh, you want to talk about basketball? I
yo,
could talk
let's
about
talk about.
basketball.
Really? Okay. All right. I want to know your honest opinion on Steph Curry. Is what I want to know.
Steph Curry
Cause,
screwed my
but
fantasy team over this year,
hey,
man. All
this
right,
guy's clutch,
Steph
dude.
Curry screwed my fantasy team. I'm picking seventh overall. I'm like, this is great. This is great. I got 7 guys. I got top 7 players. Steph Curry's ranked 6 of my top 7. I'm so excited. And then, I'm sitting there. Steph Curry falls to me at 7. I'm like, let's go. I got Steph Curry. I'm so excited. And then someone falls on his hand, breaks his hand. And the day, like, he comes back, and then coronavirus happens. And my team misses the playoffs because I lost Steph Curry. But, that aside, I don't mind Steph Curry. I've never had a
The
problem with him. I
guy's
root
gonna
for
be
him over
amazing,
LeBron
bro.
any day.
How old is he? 20, 29,
31.
31? Dude, this guy is like
He's older. He's been around since like 2009. Speaking of, If you guys want a video, because I mentioned I did the 24 player draft before Mike Trout, I have in my ideas the quarterbacks drafted before Tom Brady. If you guys want me to do a video about the 6 players drafted before Steph Curry, it wouldn't bother me. I don't necessarily like doing basketball, but I would do that because that's just something that's kind of cool with me. You know, I like doing the history aspects of things, so.
Yo, maybe eventually you should do like histories of. I mean, we had talked about this a while back, but doing the history of like sports venues and stuff. Obviously, like the old Yankee Stadium, and before that when they had what was it called, Polo Grounds?
That's a while ago.
Yeah, we had talked about that a while ago, but definitely though.
I definitely wish I could have seen Polo Grounds. You know, Ebbett Field. That's another one. You know, that's a ballpark that my grandma went to. So it's pretty
See,
cool. You know.
can I do an NBA team since Eric won't? I mean, yes, I can, but Eric's the one that would do history of stuff because I care more about the modern stuff. I mean, yeah, I like the history of how, teams won cups and stuff, but there are NBA freaking teams that I don't care about the history of. I mean,
This
like,
guy was trying to tell me I should do the history of the Florida Panthers.
yeah, because that's a funny history because it's complete garbage. um, but we'll look into it. I'll look into it. But I wouldn't do every NBA team for sure. I'd probably do like 10 of them, as in the big ones, and that would definitely be something during the summer.
Boston,
Boston,
Boston, Philly.
Lakers, Philly, the Miami Heat probably because
You got to go with the Warriors too.
obviously the Warriors.
They've been
Yep.
around. They got around. You got Wilt Chamberlain. Maybe Portland. See, I know history. I'm just fed up with how some of these people nowadays, how they are. You know, how they act, and they try to act like they're holier than thou, and I just don't like that. It's just really, to me, it's more in the NBA than the other sports. I could be wrong. I mean, football players do it too, but it seems like LeBron in particular has really got an attitude to him. So I have no real interest in basketball. Sorry if you guys want basketball videos from me. The only thing I'll really do is if Patrick wants to do like if he wants to do that video there with the players, favorite players from the teams, I would consider doing it. Um, but again, I'd probably be more inclined to do like top 10 at most. And most of my reasoning would be fantasy. So, and I did give basketball a shot. The problem was the 76ers went through this rebuild called The Process when I tried giving basketball a shot. So, that just kind of really hurt my chances of getting into the sport because all of a sudden the team I would have followed just kind of gives up, and so
Yeah, let's see. I mean, obviously another thing we had talked about once like Eric, I mean, we were originally supposed to do the history of teams and stuff all together, but then I kind of slacked off. It's like, maybe I'm not that interested in it. And then Eric started doing the teams, and Ike said he uploaded the Boston Bruins one earlier today. Um, and then we eventually had talked about after we had dug a good hole into those stuff, we were going to do individual athletes from different
yep,
sports leagues.
player bios.
And obviously that wasn't just modern things. Like if you're looking at hockey, we're like, oh, let's do Gretzky. You can do all the greats and stuff, and then you can do modern
Gretzky.
players. up
Willie
to
O.
this
Reed.
day. Um, Willie O'Ree, and then if you go to baseball, obviously Babe Ruth, all the big names there, as well as
Babe Ruth,
basketball
Lou
and
Gehrig.
football, um, and this obviously these are tons and tons of videos, which is the good thing about even though sports isn't going on right now, we have all these video ideas we can do up until yeah,
Oh
up
yeah,
until
I mean,
sports
these
gets back
videos
in
can last
business.
us for long years. The amount of videos we have can last us a long time, man. You know,
It's true, man. We're planning at least one video a day, so obviously days like today, where there's what I uploaded 4 videos, he
two,
uploads 5 videos today,
five,
including this
six.
one, 6, including this one. It's just
And that
whatever.
kind of makes up for Wednesday
Yeah,
having zero. So
yeah, and then when I kind of took like that 2 week break or week and a half break,
we took a month. We took like a month where we really didn't post much of anything.
yeah, we posted like
Uh,
well, you posted like 1 or 2
Video.
things, and then you were gonna keep it going by yourself, and then I kind of decided, all right, let's do one, and then this past week I was like, all right, I'll come
He's
back, let's start
back.
doing them again, and now we're kind of just pushing hard, forcefully to get this channel running on the ground before it takes the air. If you're
Out
talking.
of curiosity, I want to have this discussion with you on air and see if any of the people in the stream have any suggestions or anything, if what they think. How would you feel about a potential like opening song for us when we're doing
Press Bonanza.
a video? Like, how would you feel about that?
You're talking to me?
Yeah.
I have no problem. But you're talking like, I mean, obviously you can't do that on like a live stream thing, but like in a regular,
True.
it's because that's kind of just live. I mean, yeah, you could probably, I don't know if you can do that, but like, um, yeah, but you could still do it for like any other video. Obviously you would just have to edit it in and make sure it's the whole copyright thing and everything, and
You know more about that stuff than I do. So,
yeah, I do most of the editing, if any, that we have. Um,
as you can guys can tell with my videos.
Oh, the ones where you do the phone ones, and it's like all. I mean, but at the same time, you were thinking about getting a camera, and I know, like you said, you were. If you're still doing this, of what I was thinking, you were talking about making that whole backdrop thing and stuff, and
Yep,
your
yep,
is that still
yep.
going on?
That's still gonna happen.
All
I
right,
have a
yes.
couple
I mean,
things ready for
once you
that.
get that, then you'll be fine. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't worry about getting the camera because a lot of, I mean, the videos I uploaded earlier today about the Western Conference, those are literally 2 or 3 minute long videos, and you don't need to edit those at all. Those are just raw opinions with the facts or facts with opinion-based predictions. Um,
Oh, you want a hot take? I have a hot take for you. The
sure,
Bruins will not win the Stanley Cup this year.
that's debatable, man. I can tell you who won't win it: the Dallas Stars. What a freaking joke, dude. I mean, no offense to this guy. Who's this guy in this chat? Hunter.
Mr. Hunter.
Uh, but nah, the Stars ain't gonna win it. They'll win it in our lifetime sometime, but it ain't gonna be this year, next year, or the year after. They're an interesting team. I'm trying to think of another NHL team that I would compare him. He doesn't like the Bruins. Well, that's like every other hockey fan, so that's fine. But in the Flyers, aw, he's a little hater, isn't he?
What? I mean, you just insulted his stars again.
I mean, you compare the Stars to the Bruins and the Flyers, it's like
I can't
the
talk,
order
man.
would
I
be
think they,
the order
I
would be
think they
the
won
Bruins
both games against
Flyers.
the Flyers this year, so I can't
The
talk.
playoffs are different, man. I mean, yeah, like credit to this Hunter guy. You never know. The Stars could have a run
The
just like the Blues
Canadians
did.
could make a run.
Dude, the Canadians. Dude, the last year, who saw the Blues winning the freaking cup last year? From where they were.
January
Hey,
31st.
yes, exactly. That whole fight video you
I wish
saw
I
in that
bet.
practice, dude. Oh my God. And they came out and somehow won it. And now they got a freaking dog in their office. This is ridiculous,
Hey,
man.
there's a certain song that we could play.
What?
And it'd be a good closing song if I want to make Patrick mad.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Don't even think about
It
playing it.
starts, it's about some woman, and it goes, it continuously says her name, you know, Miranda.
Oh my god.
Ha ha ha
What did you think
ha.
about what did you think about that idea that they had where they basically stopped it after that last year as if it was just like a whole miracle thing, you know what I'm saying? Because now they don't play it
Yeah,
anymore. You think
it
that's
is what it
appropriate or
is.
should they have kept it going and I mean, look how good they're playing this
Superstitions are
year. They're playing good
superstitions,
this year
man.
now compared. True.
Superstitions are superstitions. If you guys want a list of my superstitions, I can give you that. I'm only really superstitious with the Eagles because I'm not a superstitious person, but when it comes to my Eagles, I am. I am. Trust me.
All right, man. I think
Um, yeah.
you got anything else to add before we get off here?
Yes, I do. I think the Bruins have a better chance of winning the Stanley Cup than the Dallas Stars.
All right, we'll leave it at that, folks. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate the comments from Hunter and anybody else, and the views, of course. Like I said, we'll post at least one thing a day, if not multiple stuff.
We try to at least, yeah.
And yeah, we'll go from there. Hopefully, we'll see some more growth like we're doing. And yeah, thanks for
If
joining
you
me,
like our
Eric.
content, if you
Yeah.
like our content, please make sure to like and subscribe, leave comments. Also, feel free to let your friends know. We always are looking for, more views, of course. And if you have any suggestions, again, definitely leave a comment. And you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
All right. Yeah. And yeah, we'll see you guys probably in the next upload within the next day. And yeah. So thanks for watching. Subscribe, comments, and you have a nice day.